this is Manin Rabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatupula. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Vinaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pro Resort and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade. This is FBC News. Tonight, ambulance shortage raises major concerns. Drinking culture becoming a problem in Fiji. And FEA works progressing well in cyclone-affected areas. But first, the Registrar of Political Parties has suspended the One Fiji Party and the People's Democratic Party for 30 days with immediate effect. This as the two parties are believed to have contravened the political parties decree after having failed to submit their declarations on or before the 31st of December last year. Registrar of Political Parties Mohammed Saneem says the office holders of the two parties were required to submit their declarations by December 31st, 2015, but until today, his office has not as yet received these. Both parties have 60 days to remedy the breach or face deregistration. During this period of suspension, the two parties cannot represent or hold itself out to be a political party. There is a great need for ambulances when it comes to attending to emergency cases in the country. St. John's Fiji National Council Chairman Dr. Vereniki Raiwalui says they're still using ambulances that are over a decade old and service demand from the public is high. Kelly Vathala has the details.
Not all emergency cases in the country can be attended to, as there is a low number of ambulances currently being used around the country.
At present, we have 3 ambulances that are running. There's one due to go back into the garage to have it refitted, as we've been told by LTA to actually, refit our vehicles again. All these 3 vehicles are about 30 years old, and presently we're working on a plan to also acquire another 4 ambulances because of the extensiveness of the services we provide.
The organization wants to increase its commitment to the whole public, rather than just being community-based.
Our commitment to the public is quite significant. First of all, in terms of our public responsibility, we ensure the safety of all our sportsmen for every sporting event.
St. John's Ambulances is at the moment only able to attend to calls if they have an ambulance available.
The demand from the public is still high. Still don't have enough ambulance to cover all Suba area, Nabua area, especially Lotoka and Intaran as well.
3 ambulances at the moment, but there's a need for more. There's a demand for more to look after the public. Sometimes some of the ambulances are in the garage.
The St. John's Association has received a new defibrillator that will be used in ambulances for the first time, and this increases the chances of survival for patients who might suffer from a cardiac arrest. Next on the cards is to get more ambulances to serve the public. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Fiji's drinking culture has changed over the years, and binge drinking, a modern label, is now becoming a concern to the health authorities. Akusita Tale reports that overconsumption of alcohol is causing many social and economic implications in the country.
Consuming alcohol after a cover session, locally known as washdown, or drinking over a course of several days until one is no longer able to drink, is a trend mostly practiced today.
The culture of Fiji, we have the taki system, and so basically the aim of at the end of the day is just to get as drunk as possible, and then that's the idea of a good time. And yes, unfortunately it's something that's on the increase, especially with young people. Binge drinking is bad. Okay, it's bad for your health, it's bad for the economy, there's just nothing good about it. So the more we can get people to refrain from binge drinking, the better it will be for everyone.
Moderate intake of alcohol, including beer, wine and hard liquor, is safe. However, the World Health Organization says there is no safe level of alcohol consumption.
It's very clear that, if you're on medication, if you are underage, if you're a pregnant woman, if you have other health conditions that, that might be negatively affected by alcohol use, that's when you definitely should not consume any alcohol.
A mutual support group called LANON has been established by the World Health Organization to assist those that have problems with alcohol abuse, as well as families of those living with a binge drinker or an alcoholic.
Al-Anon might be something for you. It is a service that's there for you. It's a support group that's there for you. Although they're not treatments, they are, important components to recovery for those who are wanting such support. So I do encourage people out there to join those groups.
Binge drinking is most at times associated with traffic accidents and other type of accidents, including violent behavior and even suicide. The more often a child or adolescent binge drinks and the younger they are, the more likely they will develop an alcohol use disorder, including alcoholism. Ako si Tatale, FBC News.
The Fiji Electricity Authority has made significant progress in restoring power to cyclone-affected areas between Rakiraki to Lautoka. FEA's priority is to normalize power supply for all its customers, and this has to some extent affected their capital projects earmarked for 2016. Ritika Pratap reports.
The Fiji Electricity Authority has to date spent over $11 million in repair works, and as a result, will now have to relook at its planned projects for this year.
Obviously, there were many capital projects that we were thinking of embarking upon, but, if our cash is now going in the repair works, then obviously we won't have enough surplus funds to carry out this capital expenditure. So we'll have to reprioritize and see how we move forward.
But he says in terms of domestic customers between Lautoka, Mba and all the way to the interior of Rakiraki, they still have a lot of work to do.
So I would say in terms of customers, there's a huge customer base in that area that still require power restoration. But in terms of the demand that existed before the cyclone compared to what we have restored, 90% we have restored in terms of the energy demand.
Patel says above average rainfall over the past 2 months has eased off the load from the diesel generators.
We have had a lot of rain. In Monasavu, we have a dam full of water. Nandari Vatu also, it's raining. So quite a bit of electricity right now as I speak is generated through hydro. Right now, I would say probably 60-65% is coming out from hydro and only about 30% is coming out from diesel.
A team of line mechanics from New Zealand have been helping the FEA restore power in the Ba area, while another team from Tonga is working in Koronumumba. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Minister for Education Mahendra Reddy today officiated the launch of a Parents and Students Pledge at Narere Primary School in Asinu. The Students and Parents Pledge, which will be given out to all students from Year 1 to 13, specifies important promises that the students and parents make to themselves every day.
In students, these promises talk about respect and love for others, importance of health, staying with clean thoughts, attending school daily, respecting school rules, saying no to drugs, using technology for good purpose, and being a proud Fijian contributing to the peace and progress of the country. The Parents' Pledge outlines and ensures that students will always have a support system in place, regardless of circumstances they may be faced with, be it a cheering parent, a study buddy parent during revision week, or a shoulder to cry on parents have to be there with the child.
Still to come on FBC News, Fiji to use sporting team to promote Fijian-made products. And pearl industry tries to get back on its feet after cyclone effects. Stay with us.
Golvina, we have a solo, Jubini Tabua, Total Tainawali, na Bull FM naman doon na siya.
Bula, nasango ulamila, o ngay nandi, ang do talitak na parong na Bula FM, number 2 na sir.
Bula, ang penelo toka, do talitak na parong ng Bula FM, number 2 na siya.
Nimbula, nasango o anawaite webata, yana kasi, ang do parong ng Bula FM, number 2 na sir.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The pearl industry in Fiji has suffered more than $1 million in damage to its industry from tropical cyclone Winston. This was highlighted by the Ministry of Fisheries Acting Director John Madden today.
The local farming industry, Justin Hunter Pearls in Savu alone, came up with $1 million in damage.
There are submissions on the way that it's either the government or through his own initiative that will bring that hatchery up again, up and running. Maybe he's looking at some partnership PPP with the government.
Professor Paul Southgate from University of the Sunshine Coast in Australia says land infrastructure damage is very large, but what is important is the maintaining of oyster supplies to the industry.
Only then can the farmers generate the income required to rebuild the land-based infrastructure. So this project really is about replacing as quickly as we can the spat collectors and the infrastructure required to collect the oysters, which can then be grown and used for pearl production in 2 years' time.
The Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research gave more than $240,000 to the Department of Fisheries today to assist in the rehabilitation of the pearl industry. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
More consultations needs to be done to build a new supermarket. Local Government Minister Parveen Bala revealed this while receiving furniture from the UN Women to benefit women market vendors. Bala has made it clear that there are a lot of things to consider to build a new one. With more developments coming in, Bala says there are alternatives to take as space is a major issue.
This is the only area left to consider to have a market. I know that there are some difficulties that the vendors are facing right now because of the space.
Police are looking for 14-year-old Alpana Archana Kumar, who was alleged to have been abducted. Kumar, a Form 3 student of Ballantyne Memorial School, is originally from Nandi and resides in Namandi Heights, Suva. It is alleged a man claiming to be her brother came and picked her up from the school during lunch break yesterday. The man came in a minivan with Suva Nandi Suva printed on the side and Sote printed on the windscreen. Kumar was wearing her green school uniform with black socks and sandals and was carrying her pink and black school bag. Police are appealing to the public to contact their nearest police station or Crime Stoppers on 919 if they have any information. The Fijian Tourism and Trade Ministry is taking another step in promoting Buy Fijian-made products offshore. This was witnessed in last weekend's Singapore Sevens tournament. Sanyani Boiler reports.
In Hong Kong just last week,
It's killing two birds with one stone. The Vodafone Sevens team not only represented Fiji in last weekend's Sevens tournament, they also managed to market our Buy Fijian-made products. With the Buy Fijian-made logo incorporated on their jerseys, the Tourism and Trade Minister Fayaz Koya says this was a great boost.
We have the best sevens team in the world, very visible all around the world. Everybody knows them. It's a wonderful opportunity for the government to market the Fijian-made brand offshore.
Koya thanked Fiji Airways and Vodafone Fiji for the great assistance in allowing the logo to be printed on the jerseys.
For Singapore alone, it was about 100 million odd viewers. So it's a fantastic opportunity for that, just awareness for the brand, and also for Singapore, because Singapore is also being looked at by us as a great new market for our goods that go across. It also goes for one of the other brands that we have, Fijian Grown, which we're planning on doing stuff with later on.
Koya says plans are in place to try and incorporate these logos on all sporting uniforms in Fiji. The Fijian-made and Buy Fijian logos that were introduced in 2009 was to promote and raise the profile of Fijian-made products, both domestically and internationally, through a national branding strategy. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
The Speaker of Parliament this afternoon met with a visiting delegation from China to receive assistance for TC Winston victims. The Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference Shanghai Committee handed over 100 blood glucose meters to Speaker Dr. Chico Luveni. Dr. Luveni thanked the Chinese delegation for their continued assistance in rebuilding the lives that were affected by the Category 5 cyclone. The Shanghai delegation says this is a testament of 41 years of relations between the two countries. And sports is up next. Here's Vashnil now with the very latest.
Good evening in sports after the break. Biggest Pacific contingent for the Olympic Games. And Suva Rugby boosted with experienced coaching staff. This and more coming up.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Good evening, this is FBC Sports. The Pacific region for the first time will send one of the biggest contingents for the Olympic Games in Brazil this year. Expect the number to double than the team which took part 4 years ago.
South America. This facility will operate
This year's Rio Olympic Games will be something more to cheer for us fans. For the first time since we started taking part way back in 1959, Pacific region will send one of the highest number of participants this year.
In the total numbers in London, we had about 150, but that included athletes and officials. This time, with the teams, it's going to be more like 150 athletes. Then you add the coaches and officials, so you're probably looking at around 250 to 300.
And not only that, this year's Pacific teams are aiming for that unique gold medal at stake, as it was 20 years ago when a Pacific Island athlete last won a medal in the Olympic Games.
The only medal that's ever been won by a Pacific country is Paya Wolfgram in boxing in 1996. Fiji's come close. I mean, we had Tony Philp in windsurfing back in the 90s, who was world champion, made top 10 in the games, but never actually got on the podium.
The Fiji 7 side, PNG's weightlifting team and New Caledonia's swimming team will be the hopes of the Pacific this year.
Broken that psychological barrier, and I think this is part of what's going to happen this year in Rio. Everything goes well, we're going to break a big psychological barrier for Pacific Island athletes.
So it's a waiting game now as to see who grabs the prestigious gold medal in Pacific for the first time. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports. The baby flying Fijians have got off to a winning start at the World Rugby Under-20 Trophy Championships in Zimbabwe. The side beat Uruguay 38-34 after being down 16-14 at halftime. Fiji scored 5 tries, out of which 4 were converted. The side next plays Samoa on Saturday night. In the other results, Samoa beat Zimbabwe 54-24, while Spain thumped Hong Kong 44-8 and Namibia beat USA 46-44. Fiji next plays Samoa at 8 p.m. on Saturday. The Suva Rugby side will aim to prove all odds wrong when they take on Tavua at Gavi Park on Saturday. Laced with former and current reps, the capital city side expects to pick up the momentum from the very first game during the Skipper Cup. It's a race against the time for Suva Rugby team as they prepare to face Tavua in the opening match of the Skipper Cup.
Tavua, Tavua already been in Suva in 2014, and we respect Tavua, the preparation. I think they prepared the game to its first game. We respect them as a team, and our game against Tavua, we're gonna go there and we'll try to do our best.
Restructuring the team after the inclusion of some new players, the Suva team will be one to beat this year. They'll heavily depend on their national reps in the likes of Chao Chidakovula, Nedhani Wakaya, and Nandronga prop Seruda Kambau.
Yeah, we got some of the new players. They joined Suva this year, and some coming from Nandronga, some come from Northland. and some other new players too. They come and join Suva this year.
Suva also has an exciting coaching panel with former Fiji Sevens coaches Timothy Wainingolo, Josovo and Seya Sifuli mentoring the team this season.
The coaching panel, they changed the coaching panel as was our coach from the last few years, Sally is with under 20. Now we got the Warden's team in the Super Rugby competition. We got Jimmy Wangolo, popular name. Then we got Joseph Wau as a trainer. And Sesful is coming back this year.
Suva meets Tavua at Kavi Park at 3 p.m. on Saturday. The Telecom Fijian side hopes to improve their performance in the Paris Sevens next month. This is after the side finished 8th at the USA Sevens and managed to win bowl in the Canada Sevens last weekend. Though displaying a poor performance, the team is looking forward to a better outing in May.
There's a flood went in the western side, and there have been, their mind was not there at Atlanta, and I keep talking to them to remind them that we're here for something, and that's why the girls have been, even the under 18 girls, they've been improving in their day by day when we went through from Atlanta to Canada. And we'll be preparing for the 3 weeks, and now we have to rest for 2 weeks, get recovery, and coming the 2nd of next month, we'll be starting DTE again.
The Fijian side marches into camp on the 2nd of next month. The Suva Stallions team are gunning for a firing performance at the Fiji Beta Maris Sevens. The team, which features majority of youths, is coached by former Flying Fijians player Norman Lingairi. Carrying a history from his playing days, Norman Lingairi is now turning his focus on developing the players, and it has come at the right time coaching Suva Stallions for Maris Sevens.
My main aim, my main goal is to develop players, going into this Maris Sevens and to expose players to these big tournaments like this.
These youths have been playing in recent Sevens tournament in Fiji, and they are looking forward to more exposure this week.
But a little bit tough pool too, and it depends. We haven't seen any other team, but we will try to concentrate on our game plans and what we can do on the field.
While winning might not be on their minds right now, they expect to give a tough time to other teams in their pool.
All these 2 weeks we've been playing 15s rugby, and we've been preparing for Sevens too, this Maris 7. I think this is the climax of Fiji Sevens rugby in Fiji.
Maris Sevens will be held on Friday and Saturday at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. One athlete each from Rotuma and Ngau will compete at this year's Coca-Cola Games. Due to the devastation by the tropical cyclone Winston earlier this year, schools in Rotuma and Ngau did not have zone meets, but these athletes will get direct qualification to compete at next week's games. Meanwhile, the organizers of the event are calling on the spectators to come out in numbers to support the games.
To appeal to the public to come down and support the Coca-Cola Games. As you know, that we will be giving 100% reimbursement to all schools that were affected by the cyclone. And by coming down in big numbers means that it would be in a position to have funds to reimburse their expenses.
The Coca-Cola Games will be held next Thursday to Saturday at ANZ Stadium in Suva. The Auckland City football side has qualified for its 6th consecutive OFC Champions League. The defending champions defeated AS Stefana 4-2 in the semi-finals today. Here are the highlights.
Taken short, you could see that it was a rehearsed move, and it's in the back of the net. Here's Tamari Tinarua. That's a very good ball. Oh, what a goal! Blow. Oh, and they've hit the post again. Lealafa. No. Lewis. Oh, that's a dangerous ball, and it's in the back of the net. Careful here. Lewis. Oh, what a goal! This is good. Oh, and that looked like a handball. And Salachand has pointed to the spot. No pressure on Tinarua. And a fine goal.
In the second semi-final, Team Wellington beat AS Magenta 2-0. The final will be played at 2 p.m. on Saturday, and you can watch the match live on FBC TV. That's your FBC Sports. Good evening.
Digicel Fiji confirmed its ongoing support as silver sponsor for the 2016 Women in Business Awards. The silver sponsorship is worth $30,000 and includes cash and prizes such as smartphones, tablets, free talk time and data. This is the fourth successive year for Digicel to partner with the Women in Business Awards. Digicel Fiji's Chief Executive Officer Darren McLean says the prizes provided by them will help the business women with business mobility solutions.
I guess the centrepiece, which is the awards night, grow each year and become more and more successful. And if I look back on sort of the calendar of events, and Fiji has a lot of events during the year, I would put this right up there at the very top in terms of the popularity and how well it's organised. So indeed it's a great way for the Women in Business leadership team to showcase all the talent, and it's a great way to round off the year and all the awards that have come through.
Showers to the northern part of the country as well as eastern parts and interior of the main islands today. Fine weather prevailed elsewhere. Looking at the temperatures, 33 degrees was the hottest temperature today, which was recorded in Nadi, Lautoka and Ba. Lambasa was on 30, while Savu-Savu and Suva followed. For tomorrow, cloudy periods with some showers over Lau and Lomaiviti Group, eastern and southern Vanuatu, Taveuni and nearby smaller islands, the eastern parts and interior of the other larger islands. Showers becoming frequent tomorrow, elsewhere fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers. And the further outlook is for Friday. It should bring occasional showers, possibly heavy at times over Lau and the Lomaiviti Group, eastern and southern Vanuatu, Taveuni and nearby smaller islands, the eastern parts and interior of the other larger islands, elsewhere fine apart from brief showers. And recapping the main stories for tonight, PDP and One Fiji party suspended for failure to meet deadline. Ambulance shortage raises major concerns and drinking culture becoming a problem in Fiji. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to the poll question for this week, and we are asking, should Kitione Talinga be included in the 7th team for the Olympics? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Good night.
मैं हूँ रेहान खान कुरबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल एग्रेट है कुरबो में उसी तरह मिर्ची FM नंबर 1 है कुरबो में
एलिन लटुका में मिर्ची FM को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची FM इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमान है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची FM नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नेंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची FM इज हॉट आई लाइक इट
Mirchi FM, it's hot.